Hello piece of internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so for today's video I have my October wrap up and I actually managed to read something this month because I've been in a really bad reading slump and I just haven't been reading anything. But in October I finished and read 3 books. I am so super proud of myself because just as I was saying, reading stuff was so bad and finally I read something, and I didn't just read 1 book, I read 3. So bravo to Kevin. Another thing I just want to point out, I'm very sorry about my uploading schedule being a bit all over the place right now. College has been so busy just with like essays having to be due, and it's just been really hard trying to find time to film. I was away in Amsterdam and London last week, so I'm just a bit all over the place still, but I'm really planning on getting back into my normal routine for uploading, which is on a Sunday and a Wednesday. I know this is going up and it's a Friday right now, but I will be uploading starting after this video back to my Sunday and Wednesday routine. So hopefully that gets back into things very quickly because I hate the fact that I'm a bit all over the place. I don't like that I'm not uploading on the days I'm supposed to be uploading, and it's just really it bugs me for some reason. I just like having my routine, so I just need to get back into my routine. Okay, now that I've got all that said, let's jump into the books that I read in the month of October. So the first book that I finally finished in October was Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas, and I would start this book when it was released in September, but as I said I was in a reading slump, so it was really hard to read it. Like I got like 200 and something pages in this, then I put it down for like 2 weeks, and then I finally picked it up again because I was going to a Sarah J Maas signing in Dublin. And I actually did get this signed, and you can only get 1 book signed and another book stamped because she had like a wrist injury and her husband was stamping the books for you. So I got this one stamped, which is there. It's actually a really cool stamp, and it just says the Empire of Storms Tour. And I got my A Court of Mist and Fury signed, and if you haven't seen my vlog of when I met Sarah J Maas, I'll leave a link down below. And anyways, this is getting very much off topic. I read finally Empire of Storms. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars, but I think it's like a 4.5. I can't remember what I rated it on Goodreads, but I did not give this a 5 stars, and this is the first Sarah J Maas book I haven't given a 5 stars to. Just this book for me wasn't as good as the rest of the series, but saying that, that does not mean that I did not enjoy it, because I really did. I loved it. I just love all these characters. I love Sarah J Maas's writing, and I just loved it, but it's just, it wasn't as good as the other books in my opinion, and I really just didn't like the lack of Chaol in this book, or none of Chaol in this book for that regard, and I think that's why I'd give it a less rating. And also I just thought the ending for this one was a bit anticlimactic compared to all the rest of them, but it's just set it up so well for the next book. And as I said, 4 out of 5 stars to this book. The next book that I read in October was More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and I absolutely loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. This book blew my mind. Loved it so much. It's just such an amazing book. It made me cry so much. Like, it wasn't one of those books where you just cry at a certain part and then you move on. I cried at a certain part of this, then I read more, then I cried again, then I read more and I cried again. Like, it had me like an emotional wreck, and I think it's just because I could relate so much to this book. I don't really know how to explain this book because I honestly didn't know much about it, and I just loved it so much, and I think the reason I liked it so much is because I didn't know anything about it. So I don't really know how to explain this, but I just want to say that it involves LGBTQIA related topics, and that's why I could relate so much to it, because I'm an openly gay man, and this just, it hit me hard, and that's why I could relate so much to the character, and I was just crying so much. And yeah, that's really the main reason. And yeah, if you have not read this book, or you have it and you haven't picked it up yet, I would highly recommend that you do, because it's just amazing. It's one of my new favorites. And the final book that I read in the month of October was The Snake's Pass by Bram Stoker, and this follows a guy named Arthur who's on his holiday in Ireland, and he is in a small town, and there's these legends of hidden treasure in like the bog, and basically he tries to uncover the treasure that's in the bog, and it has like spooky elements to it and stuff like that, like the stories and the folklore and all that kind of stuff. I generally don't have any idea how to explain this book. I'm just hoping, because it's Bram Stoker, maybe some of you guys actually have an idea what this book is. He's also the guy that wrote Dracula, if you don't know who he is. Anyway, I had to read this for my Irish Studies class in college, and I actually ended up really liking it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I was actually able to read it quite quickly compared to like any other books I've read for college. But I do have to say that the ending was very anticlimactic, and I think that's why I gave it a less rating and not the 5 stars. And I actually said that to my teacher. I was telling her how like I thought it was like anticlimactic, and she agreed with me, and she was just like, I feel the exact same way. So that's good that I'm not the only one that feels that. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this book, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you're interested in Bram Stoker, give it a read. I haven't read Dracula myself. I'm actually really interested in reading Dracula now after reading this, so we'll see if I actually do. Okay guys, so that is it for my October wrap up. Let me know down below what books you read in the month of October, and if you have read any of the books that I talked about in this video, let me know what you thought of them down below also. And other than that, I will see you all in my next video. So goodbye guys.